So I'm here with my good friend Jimmy Pedro. Jimmy, for those of you guys who don't know, Jimmy's a 4-time Olympian, world champion, 2 times bronze medalist in the Olympics. So we're very lucky to have him here in Hawaii. Jimmy, can you kind of just elaborate on what you see as far as the event and how it's going and how things are run?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you so much for inviting me to Hawaii. I love it here, and I'll come back every year to support you. This is my second home. When I was training as an athlete, I used to stop by Hawaii all the time with my friend Cliff Sonata. We used to come here, training camps, judo. Great place to do judo, also a great place to have fun. What we're doing here with the American Judo System tournament, we've partnered with Taylor Takata. We're running the national championships. We're going to be here every year in Hawaii, not just doing a competition, we're also running a training camp to help grow the sport, to help educate the people, to help make judo stronger in Hawaii, and hopefully bring the community together. We run good, fun events. They're well organized. Taylor has a great setup here. Beautiful backdrop for the athletes to get their medals. He runs a really tight schedule. You know when you're going to compete, and you're going to get a lot of matches here when you come. We're all about friendly competition and developing the athletes. So if you want your athletes developed, bring them to the American Judo System events run by Taylor Takata, and we promise you, long term, it'll pay off for your athletes.
And Jimmy, can you kind of talk about, we know that you're one of the greatest competitors that we had in the United States. Can you talk about the importance of competing for an athlete's development and what competing does for an athlete if they want to get to where you got in judo?
Absolutely. I mean, if you want to be a champion, you have to compete often, right? It's all about matches. The more matches you can get your athletes in a given year, the better those athletes are going to be at competition. We call it being competition sharp, right? Because kids, when they get out and compete often, they no longer have anxiety. They can now open up and they get used to competing, and their bodies can't be anxious all the time, right? So the more often they compete, the better they will be when they compete, because they're not going to be worried about performance. They're just used to it. So it's very important that your athletes develop. And what I like to say is, in a given year, I want to get my athletes somewhere between 80 and 100 matches. If they can, and that means they're going to register for their division, they're going to fight up a division. If there's an international day, they're going to fight that. So maybe we get 15 matches in a weekend, and we go to 6 to 10 events a year, we're getting that 80 to 100 matches a year. And that's really important to developing the athletes.
And we know that you've visited, countries all around the world and competed. Can you kind of explain to us the I know in Europe there's numbers that they try to hit as far as like competition numbers. What are those like, and what are the good competitors in around the world? How much matches are they doing a year, and what do we in the U.S. and in Hawaii need to do, and how much matches do we need to get for that to happen, or for us to be successful? I know you said 80 to 100, but what are the best guys in the world doing?
Best guys in the world are competing all the time. If you look at the international circuit right now, and the world has cadet circuit, they have a junior circuit, and they have a senior circuit. So now all around the world, all these teams have cadets between 14 and 17 years old that are going all around the world getting experience, and their kids are fighting all the time. We're all throughout Europe, all throughout Asia, not so much in North and South America because we don't have that many events here, but the South American Tour and the Pan Am Judo Union is starting to pick up steam. They're starting to get some momentum, and they're starting to put on some really good events in Mexico and Peru and South America, so hopefully that bodes well for the future. But these guys are competing in 10 international events a year, and on top of that, they're competing in their domestic tournaments too. So they're getting their 80 to 100 matches a year, and that's where we really miss out. What I like about Hawaii Judo is you guys do traditional stand-up Japanese judo, which is great, because when you come from the mainland to here, you're getting exposed to a different type of judo, which is fabulous. The Hawaiians need to get out of Hawaii and compete on the mainland, or they got to compete against kids that come over from the mainland, because our style is very different, right? And our kids compete a lot in the mainland. So I think that's where the Hawaiians miss out. They don't compete often enough.
So again, I think a lot of times in Hawaii we're locked in here by the ocean, and we can't compete. So if we can get high level competition here, and if we can bring people from the mainland, people from Asia, people from Canada, it'll just benefit our guys. So again, Jimmy, I'd like to thank you for your support. Thank you for coming out.
I'm coming back every year. And listen, it's all about numbers, right? The amount of time you spend on the mat competing makes you better. The amount of time you spend doing judo training makes you better. And you always have to be constantly learning as well. So during the camp here, we're bringing techniques that we've developed over the years to the people in Hawaii. Obviously, Newaza is a big part of the success that the American team is having. So Travis Stevens is here. I'm here. We'll be teaching Newaza here at this camp, and techniques that actually work on the international scene. And hopefully that helps your kids elevate their game a little bit and helps them get better.
Thank you, Jimmy.
My pleasure.
Appreciate it.
Cheers.